Uh, I would say that would have been, I would have somewhere in my early 30s, I think. And I kind of like the idea of the authority I seen on the ice, and I took it on. And actually, I was refereeing a little bit of umpiring some baseball. I was refereeing in football, and I got into the hockey. And actually, the very first game I ever officiated was in the Western Hockey League as I worked as a linesman when it was then known as the Winnipeg Clubs.
Was it a tough skill to learn?
Are the
Was refereeing a tough skill to learn?
uh, It's not the learning. I'll give you an example. I remember I was refereeing Chief many years later, and I had a young fellow, without saying the name, tremendous skater, knew the rules backwards, looked the part, but I would never put him into a junior A hockey game. He just didn't understand the game. It's understanding the game, and I see that a lot today. Last night I'm watching the Winnipeg Jets play the Washington team. The game had gone over 9 minutes without a stoppage, and the referee called a penalty, and I said, why? You had the players right in your hands. Let them go. I mean, the little slap and all that, let it go. They're not running, they're not harming each other, they're skating, they're playing. Why did you stop the game? And it's understanding the game.
And that's how you watch games? You
Yeah.
still watch games with the referee's mentality?
Oh yeah, as I watch it, my wife, she just loves to watch the Jets play. She got her Jet jersey on TV and whatnot. And I'm probably saying offside before they blow the whistle and stuff like that. And why they call that penalty? What are they doing here? So, yeah, you're probably right. The tough parts were, it's really when you knew the team's coming on the ice and you knew the players that were going to give you the headache. And how did you handle them? I can remember certain players, without saying names, skating around before the ice because I think I had a good reputation with the players, and because I only refereed junior and university and senior hockey, and I remember certain players saying to me, "Say, well, Don, how are you gonna call me tonight?" And I'd say, "Well, if I come by you and I just give you a little tap on the shoulder, that means smarten up. You're getting the end of my rope, okay?" So sometimes just clamping down tight was not the answer. The answer to get the feel for the game, see how it's going to flow, give the players a chance to play. I think it's an inherent skill.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that you learn. You learn. You're either a manager or you're not a manager. You may get the title, but you're not a manager. It was tough. I did most of the lines I worked were probably when I was working in the Western Canada Hockey League. You got to remember back then to play, players had to be 21 before you were drafted. In particular, I can remember then I was refereeing a lot. The Brandon Vikings, and I think it was 1978. I think they had the best hockey team in junior that I ever seen, and even today. They had 10 bona fide NHL players on the team. You know, it had Bonner in goal, you had Prop, Allison, Semenko, DeLegro, McCrimmon, and so on. It was a talented team. But I remember refereeing the series between Regina, Flin Flon, and Brandon. And Brandon actually, if you look at this, in the 160 points that you normally have in a year, they probably had 150 points, just to give you a... Flin Flon probably had 100. And Regina probably had 50. But Brandon lost 2 games quick for whatever reason. And I remember refereeing, and Brandon either won the game to send to assure that there was another game going to be in Regina. Well, they won the game, and they beat the Flin Flon team. The next night, Flin Flon is playing Regina. And remember, I said 150 points, 150. Regina had to win by, I think it was 11 goals to knock Brandon out. They won by 12. Jordy Douglas played on the Flin Flon team then. He can tell you, verify the same story. Basically, They knocked out what I consider the best junior team I ever seen.